Boom. All right. What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Wake up with me. It's your man, Trayvon Pratt with AIM. Always improving the mind. I love this little charm, man. I love it. It's for me. It's a reminder for me. It ain't nothing too flashy or nothing. That's just for me. We got a little bit more tint on this video, on this live, because just yesterday my ring light decided to go out on me. Every time I'm gonna tell you, go back to the first video I put out this year, what they don't tell you about self-development. That video has encapsulated this entire year so far. It's been wild. It has been wild. Like, what they don't tell you about self-development is that anytime, no matter how big, no matter how small the goal is, anytime you set out towards some type of development, something better, you will come across challenge. It don't matter how simple the task is. I just want to go live. My microphone broke in the beginning of the year. Had to fix that. Uh, Learned with that as well. My ring light goes out this month. You know, challenging myself physically and consistent wise this this month, and first thing that happened, my car started acting up. Every time, bro. Every time. If anything gonna get me, it's the car. If anything gonna get me, it's the car. So I acknowledge all of these things as the challenges that arise when you set forth to do something good for you. You know, I also say I'm gonna tighten up on my eating, and all of these specials, all of these deals started coming my way, or we'll even give you something free. It's like, what now? You're gonna come across some type of challenge. Let me pin this comment for those on Instagram. One second. What we here for this morning is I don't do I do intentions. I don't do New Year's resolutions, right? You set the intention for the year and you move forward. So my intention for this year is a phrase. I will not allow the negligence and the incompetence of others to affect me. Why did I come to that for the entire year? Because at the end of last year, actually, look, it's still early. We're still getting it together. We got the golden glow, shine. I gotta put my shine on, man. Because at the end of last year, look at the difference. Way different. At the last quarter of last year, and I won't get distracted no more. I see y'all. At the last quarter of last year, from October to December, I was about to click out, bro. And yes, the mindset guy also goes through mindset things. People do annoy me. Life be lifing for me too. And I was ready to click out. I felt like I was tested, undervalued, overlooked, You want the people won't hearing me, and people was playing with me. But I realized that incompetence is at an all-time high. Crazy work, bro. Incompetence was the word. Incompetence was at an all-time high. Um, let's see. The definition of incompetence is the lack of ability. Is the lack of ability or lacking qualification, incapable. If you are incompetent, you are incapable. We have incompetent leadership. We have incompetent co-workers. We have incompetent, everybody just falling short of bare minimum of what it is that you're supposed to do. We say common sense is not common anymore. Bro, it's been wild, man. It's been wild. So incompetence summed up what I was dealing with. Cause I would go I went to get my car situated. I went to go get my car inspected. And then, of course, we found some other things that you need to pass inspection. Okay. But it's gonna cost you about $4,000 for no real reason. I guess you want to get some good Christmas gifts for your kids, but I'm like, yeah, no, that's not gonna happen. We get it down to 1,000, right? And handle that. Get the parts. Incompetence. The mechanic put it on wrong. Take it back. They don't take accountability for it. That's my word of the year too. That's what I live by is accountability. They don't take accountability for it. Another $1,000. I felt like that was you playing with me because I was able to get it down to 1,000 instead of going through your tactics, which would have cost me 4,000. So you played with me just now, and the person that put this stuff on wrong, incompetence, incapable, lack of ability, lack of qualification. You hear me? Then it's something as simple as just going to get something to eat. This past weekend about drove me and my wife crazy because we like, okay, we starting a new month. We here, you know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and we started going to the gym. Let's go ahead and get what we gonna get out of our systems, right? Let's go ahead and get some food. We went to go to we went we are on the west end of town. We went to the south side of town, which took entirely too long because restaurants, the restaurants that we chose to go to on this side of town said that they was out of stock of everything that they was promoting. Simple stuff. Like Krispy Kreme didn't have donuts. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What? A 24-hour donut shop don't have donuts. The sense is not being made. Then, like, cool, we go to the other side of town. They say, no, we got them. Then you get there, we don't got no donuts. Like, what is happening? And then we say, let's just go ahead. We weren't supposed to be fat anyway. Let's not eat Krispy Kreme. We didn't. So let's go and get um our food for the night. We went to go get some Peruvian. The meal that we get is chicken, steak, and shrimp. Going big. They didn't have steak or shrimp. What? After we sit there, like, you don't have, like, this is your business, bro. Like, I can't tell people that, like, I sell skincare or we don't got no sense, we don't got no skincare though. You know what I'm saying? Like, You come to shine, you can get you some shine. I might run out of a certain fragrance, but you gonna get you some shine. You know what I'm saying? Incompetence. Like, what are we doing? Anyhow, I realized last year in the last quarter, those are brief, relatable. Those are brief, but we about to drive this point home because we can't allow the negligence and the incompetence of others to affect us to a certain degree. We can't. Otherwise, we'll be, man, you'll be so lost. You'll be so mad. You'll be so emotionally out of it because incompetence is at an all-time high because it's promoted that you shouldn't and don't have to do the bare minimum anymore. Like service don't have to serve. People don't have to, like human don't have to act human. Like simple stuff. You know what I mean? Common sense is not common anymore. So I say, and what I've been living by this year is I will not allow the incompetence and the negligence of others to affect me. People will drop the ball. People will be late. People will be careless. That part, that's the one. People will disappoint you, bro. People will disappoint you, but your peace, your discipline, your emotional regulation, that's your responsibility. So when I say I would not allow the incompetence and the negligence of others to affect me, what I'm saying is I'm going to lean back into me. Most issues are not mine that I'm upset about. You know what I mean? Like, and real quick, I really don't like when your negligence affects me, right? It's because you're not doing your job that I can't get what I'm here for. It's because you're not paying attention that I got to be more careful. It's because you dropping the ball that I got more of a workload. You know what I'm saying? I got to take more responsibility. So I'm not going to act like that's not a thing. What I'm saying is, in a nutshell, is prepare for it and lean in on yourself. Your peace, your emotional regulation, your discipline, that's your responsibility, right? This ain't about becoming cold. Um, it's about becoming emotionally sovereign. So, like, if you go back to one of my previous videos I did this month, not this month, last month I released, it was how to protect your peace without becoming cold. Because a lot of people are in this self-development phase where they be like, I don't need nobody. I don't trust nobody but God. You know, they get into this isolation, don't talk to nobody. And that's not what God intended for us. Let me be clear. We are social beings. We are supposed to be interactive. We're supposed to look out for one another, help one another, build one another, thrive with one another. You're not supposed to be by yourself. It's no such thing. Everything and everyone are connected. Um, but a lot of people have gotten into this phase of self development where you have to go inside. Um, and it's more of a trauma response where you now won't allow yourself, you done got in tune with yourself, you love yourself a little bit more, and you now will not allow anyone in to be able to hurt you versus, you creating a barrier versus a boundary. So that's not what we're doing here. So let's get into it. Why does other people's incompetence trigger us? Questions will be asked. You heard. Let's break down the psychology. Why does other people's incompetence trigger us? We expect others to operate at our standard. When I say the bare minimum, it's my standard, is what I consider the bare minimum. It could be different for somebody else. Again, common sense is not common anymore. We tie the outcomes to other people's performance, and we internalize inconvenience as disrespect. Hello? We think we can manage everything. So when other people do wrong in your eyes, it affects you, you know? Your anger is often rooted in expectation, not reality. That's why this phrase came apart where it says expect nothing, accept everything. Expect nothing, accept everything. Simple phrase, difficult to live by. And that's basically what I'm leaning back into when I say I will not allow the negligence and incompetence of others to affect me. I'm leaning back into expect nothing, accept everything. Because if I expect you to provide the bare minimum and you don't, that's going to set me off. Like, if I walk into, there we go, I was frozen. If I walk into a restaurant that serves a specific dish, I expect to be able to get that dish. And when I can't, that's when I'm be set off. If I go to drive, right? If I go to drive and I'm following the traffic laws, speed limit, stopping at stop signs and red lights and what have you, simple stuff that I feel like you should know in order to get your license. I expect others to do the same. Almost every time I get behind the wheel, I see somebody who swerving, who reckless, who could be a potential threat to a lot of us other people behind the wheel who aren't. So it triggers me. Tell you no lies. I know a lot of people who feel the same way. Like, yo, and it's the simple things like that. Like, we shouldn't have to have lower expectations of normal. But again, common sense is not common anymore. We are this new normal. Trash. Trash. Throw the whole thing away. Throw the whole thing away. I ain't willing. But mindset, since we are here and we do not have control over others, control is an illusion. Since we do not have control over others and the outcomes of everything, the only thing that we can control is ourselves. So again, lower the expectation or, rid of the expectation and lean into the reality. A lot of times, I take that driving scenario. Most of the time, I am unaffected by somebody else being reckless. Emotionally, if I pay attention to it and allow it to affect me, I may become reckless myself. Road rage may insist, what have you. And a whole lot of other things can happen. But when I sit back and just be like, oh, that person's driving crazy. Reality, let me stay over here. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen over there. A lot of times I slow down, Hey, you got it, bro. You know what I'm saying? You want to swerve around me? Go ahead. You know, you're gonna get to the red light 6 seconds before me. That's it. You know, we're gonna still be at the same spot. Reality. You know what I mean? Instead of like, oh, you trying to check me. You trying to say like I'm driving slow. Like I wasn't doing 10 miles over the speed limit already and you all up on my bumper. You know what I mean? Like anyhow, when someone is negligent, it feels personal. I say that again. When someone is negligent, it feels personal, but most of the time it's just their lack of discipline. It's just their lack. Their lack is not an attack on you. Man, I got something I want to say, but I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna save that scenario. Whew. When someone else is negligent, it feels personal, but their lack of discipline is not an attack on you. Most of the time, anyway. Okay, so let's discuss what happens when we do allow the incompetence and negligence of others to affect us. What then happens? You are now stressed, your mood is disrupted, you might break your focus, huh? It's definitely emotionally charging. It's going to get an emotional charge out of you, and it drains your energy. Incompetence and negligence. I have people like I'm not one who likes to debate, right? Everybody thinks what they think is correct. This goes in the realm of incompetence. Did you actually look this up? Or are you only going off of what other people have said or other people, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the debate is, usually you don't have that experience yourself, but you loud about it. I'm not a debater. I'm a I'm a converse with you, but I'm not going to debate you. When I got into that realm of debating, shout out to FMF podcast. When I got into the realm of debating, I realized that, and like all of the above, elevated stress, my mood is disrupted, broke my focus, my emotionally charged, draining my energy, and for what? Again, you can't control other people, you can't change other people, you can't make somebody think differently. So usually when it comes to a debate, there is no actual education. Oftentimes what I see it now is like my guy Utley says, you either my purpose or my partner. So either I'm educating you, huh? Either I'm educating you or you get it and we can work on some things. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, otherwise, these are the effects. This is the cost of letting others affect us. When I knew, like we talking about, like we got people, nobody was married giving marital advice. I was the only married person telling people, like why if you gonna get advice, get it from a good source. Why would you get marital advice from a single person? Why wouldn't you get it from someone who is continuously married? Like he's consistent with marriage, like still married, bro. You know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't you hurt yourself twice when you allow others to affect you? Once from their mistake and once from your reaction. Because every time I look back at one of those videos where I got emotionally charged, I was like, why? Why did I allow the negligence and incompetence of someone else to affect me? Why would I let someone who lacks the qualification of this subject matter to affect me in this conversation? You hurt yourself twice. Why, when somebody swerves around me, I felt like I needed to swerve back in front of them? We all almost got in accidents. Why? It always comes back to yourself. You can't control incompetence, man, but you can control your exposure and your response. Again, you can't control incompetence, but you can control your exposure and your response. Hear me. I'm gonna get myself to
Message.
Mm, come on, bro. Wild work, bro. All right, so next thing we need to talk about is you can't control incompetence, right? But you can control your exposure and your response. So now let's talk about emotional detachment versus emotional suppression. Let's clarify this real quick. Detachment equals awareness without internal chaos. I can see the issue. I can see the incompetence. I can see what's going on. I can even foreshadow where this is going to end up. Uh, Response instead of reaction. Reaction is, I guess, what people would consider the emotional, because all logic is based in emotion. You're going to do what you feel is best based on the factors given at hand. Um, but you respond instead of react. You think about it for a second. You know what I mean? Boundaries without bitterness. That's what detachment looks like. I have many of friends who are still friends, though they've detached. I was just thinking about this yesterday. I was like, yo, I'm glad to see them living their lives. But at a point, it was like, if we're friends, we're supposed to stay in contact. We're supposed to stay, I got a different outlook on friendship than normal. I do. So that detachment at first, that was something I really had to work on because I took that personally. But now I'm like, no, I put in boundaries myself. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't talk to a lot of people. I got a cutoff time. Everybody is not allowed access to me at any time. That was something I had to work on. Healthy detachment. Now suppression looks like pretending you're not bothered. Come on. Hold on.
Message.
Suppression looks like pretending you're not bothered. It's internal resentment. You know what you feel. You know what you thinking. You know what you saying to yourself right now. You probably mad as I don't know what at yourself, but you acting cool on the surface, my guy. And then passive aggression. I hey, if you being passive aggressive with me, I put the spotlight on it. We're gonna just go ahead and shine the light, put that in the forefront. You mad, bro? You know what I mean? So that's clarified. Detachment versus suppression is basically you don't take it personal. You don't take it personal. Again, expect nothing, accept everything. If somebody wants to leave, let them leave. If somebody wants to leave, let them leave. If somebody wants to do other, let them. Let them go. If somebody wants to swerve around you, don't feel pressured to keep up or stay in front of. I'm gonna have to talk about that. I'm gonna do a video about road rage because there's a lot that goes into it mentally. Road rage is a mindset. Um, but expect nothing, accept everything. I don't expect you to drive like me. I don't think you have the same standards of driving as I do. And I'm not perfect. I speed up too. I like to go fast. I swerve around slow drivers, but I'm not reckless. So I take myself into consideration. But when it happens to me, I accept, hey, look, bro, go and do what you're gonna do. Because at the end of the day, I got to make it to my destination safely in one piece. I don't want no damage to my car. I don't want no damage to my body. Handle yours. You know what I mean? You obviously don't care about your life. I do. I accept that. Go ahead, go around. You feel me? But calmness isn't weakness, it's mastery. When you can truly be calm, you can truly detach in a healthy manner. That's mastery over, that's emotional regulation at its peak. You hear me? So, how to actually practice this? Hmm? How to actually practice? I will not allow the incompetence and the negligence of others to affect me. How could we put this into play right now? Okay. First things first, lower your expectation, but raise your standards. Okay. Expect mistakes. Expect mistakes, but hold boundaries when necessary. I keep going back to the driving scenario because most of us drive. I expect mistakes on the road. People are distracted at an all-time high. You don't have your attention. The attention span is nowhere nowadays. I expect you to either not be paying attention. You know the triggers. Y'all at a red light, it turns green, person doesn't go. More than likely they in their phone. Texting and driving, crazy work. Um, these things are more dangerous. A distracted driver is more dangerous than an intoxicated driver. I'd rather you be high but focused than to be all in your phone or doing something else. I keep on seeing people like eating fork food while driving. It's not a self-driving vehicle, but you over there with both hands eating and driving. I seen a lady driving, right, eating soup, looking at whatever on her phone that was in the passenger car. And you're driving, like driving beside me at 45 miles per hour. I said, ain't no way. Gotta get off this road. Gotta get off this road. Not with this person. Not in this vehicle. Not beside me. Not today. Gotta go, bro. Wild work. Wild work, if you ask me. Expect mistakes. That's the first thing you do. Expect mistakes, but hold boundaries when necessary. That boundary is creating space. Right? I expect you to mess up, especially if I see what could lead to a possible mishap. Let me create the distance so if that were to happen, it wouldn't affect me. I'm either going to speed up, get away from you, turn off, maybe even there's been times where drivers were so crazy that I literally pulled over. You know what I mean? Like it could be like a whole road of road rage. Like every lane, everybody is like at each other. And I'm like, I can't partake in this. I would pull over. I would pull over. I would not allow the negligence and the incompetence of others to affect me. So the first thing you do, lower your expectation, raise your standards. Expect mistakes, but hold boundaries when necessary. The second thing we do is separate intent from ability. Not everyone is malicious, okay? Not everyone is out to get you. Some people are simply underdeveloped. They aren't in they don't have your train of thought. They aren't in the position that you are. They don't think like you do, right? They do not have the experience to be able to call it common sense. It's not common in their world. They haven't dealt with this just yet. Whatever it is that they are incompetent in, right? This could be a learning experience for them, which usually makes me a little more patient, a little more calm. I don't want to just jump the gun. I expect you to know you don't know. So now I'm like, are you stupid? I don't want to just jump the gun. I don't expect that you actually know what you're doing. Separate intent from ability. Not everyone is malicious. Some people are simply underdeveloped. Number three, the third thing that you do to not be affected or not allow the incompetence and negligence of others to affect you. Number three, pause before reaction. Train that 5-second rule. Breathe, assess, choose your response. Think about it. Like a lot of people have responded or reacted. Let's say, for instance, going back to the debate scenario, I'll say something along the lines of, everybody feels a certain type of way, or like all people have emotions, and it's like, nah, you're not supposed to have emotions. Okay, you didn't hear me. Everybody has emotions, but you just reacted emotionally to me saying that, and you saying that nobody has to be like you showing emotion now. Mm. But if you was to allow that, process it, assess it before you respond, choose your response instead of just reacting on sight. Pause before you react. That's the third thing. The fourth thing, build redundancy in your life. If people are unreliable, have backup plans. And oftentimes it does fall back on me. But I'm glad that I can rely on myself. Now, this is not to be confused with that unhealthy isolation I spoke about earlier. I'm glad that I can rely on myself, but I'm going to allow others the opportunity to do what it is they're supposed to do. Everybody has a part to play within this masterpiece called life. So I'm gonna allow you to put forth your effort. But if you are unreliable, I'm more than likely going whatever needs to happen. Just because you're incompetent, you're unreliable, doesn't mean that the show gonna stop. That's what this is about. Don't hinge everything on one person. Strengthen your self sufficiency. Strengthen your self sufficiency. I can bet on me. I can bet on me. And usually lead by example. Usually, when you can bet on you and you rely on you, people see that, people aspire to that, knowing that you don't like that's your standard, knowing that you don't settle for less, right? Now, you do got some people out there who would like, well, he'll do it anyway. That's where you got to draw a boundary. That's where a boundary has to be set because I will not allow the negligence and incompetence of others to affect me. I'm not going to sit here and let you burden me with more. Like I got to shoulder the more responsibility just because I'm capable. No, you need to be on your P's and Q's. Or something like, again, I know my task is going to get completed. I'm going to make that happen. If you cannot do yours, if we cannot rely on you, then we should put somebody else in place. You will be replaced. You will be held accountable. You know what I'm saying? Something of that measure that comes with communication. Yeah, I mean, you just look at a job, right? And jobs are tricky because of the environment we in, but the structure, how it's supposed to be, is okay. We have a set staff. Each staff have a certain position. If there's somebody in position that is not fulfilling their duties, then we need somebody. Maybe they need training. Maybe they need, maybe they need a break, or maybe they need to be replaced. Assess it. What's the issue here? You know what I mean? But if you just slacking off and being lazy, or they so and so is whoever else gonna do it anyway, somebody else got to do more work because you dropping the ball. No, we ain't doing that. So build redundancy in your life. That's the number 4. And number 5, and this is one I can't stress enough. Stop personalizing everything. Everything is not a personal attack. I understand that you gonna feel it, bro. You gonna feel it. Some stuff, a lot of times, it's just simple, should be common sense. I don't know how many times I don't know how many times I go to a business, a restaurant, a store, or something, and I'm basically managing whoever I'm supposed to be getting assistance from. Like, I can't get you to pay attention to me. You're not listening. You don't care. You taking your precious time. Going back to the car situation, I was like, the mechanic supposed to been done 20 minutes ago. I see this man on his phone. I see him. I see him. He's on his phone instead of working on my car. Either you trying to learn what to do, which incompetence, you lack the qualifications. You lack right now. Or you putting your work off to the side for whatever was more important to you on this phone. Still, incompetence. But I can't take it personally. My camera just went out. I think that's something. Hold on, y'all. We was- That's what that was. All right, we back. Crazy work. The 5th and final thing you do to not allow others to affect you, stop personalizing everything. Even if it's personal, don't take it personal. Now that's a challenge in itself. That's an exercise in detachment, and that's one that I've been leaning into because simple fact is like even something as important as you fixing my car. My car is to get me from A to B. I still what is going on, bro? See, this what I'm talking about. Anytime y'all can still hear me. Anytime you're doing something, anytime that you're doing something that's good, expect setbacks. Expect expect this negligence, man. What in the world? My camera just went out on me. What in the world is going on? We about to finish it off in the front because we ain't playing these games, man. It happens again. Forget it. Okay, camera acting up. Light broke. Look, won't stay on. All right, we gonna finish this in the front. Never mind the way. Crazy work, bro. Crazy work. Camera just want to stop. We was getting too powerful. And we almost done. I'm almost done with it. Let's see if it'll work. Not registering. All right, forget it. So, coming to you from the front. All right. So I'll replay those. The 5 things that you need to put in place. How to actually practice not allowing the negligence and incompetence of others to affect us. Just like this. Expect things to happen. Expect things to happen. Things gonna happen, especially when it comes to other people. It comes with equipment too, apparently, but especially when it comes to other people. I'm ready to get all new equipment. Nonetheless, the first thing you do is lower your expectation, raise your standards, okay? Expect mistakes, but hold boundaries when necessary. Two, separate intent from ability. Not everyone is malicious. Some people are simply underdeveloped. Okay. Number three, pause before your reaction. Train that 5 second rule. Breathe, assess, and choose your response wisely. Number four, build redundancy in your life. Okay. If people are unreliable, have backup plans. That usually means that you're gonna take care of it yourself. But if you got to keep on relying on yourself instead of this other person, we're going to eradicate that person from this task. Don't hinge everything on one person. Strengthen your self sufficiency. Okay. And number five, and one of the most important, stop personalizing everything. Most incompetence has nothing to do with you. Somebody else's lack of ability, lack of qualification, lack of capability has nothing to do with you. It's upsetting, it's frustrating, you know, All I wanted was a taco. I could put some meat and some cheese and some lettuce in a tortilla and fold it. I don't know why that seems to be such a difficult task for you, but apparently it is. So maybe you need to be trained. But I can't take it personally. It should be simple, right? But I can't take it personally. Their lack of discipline is not an emergency for your emotions. And now I can look at you straight. Their lack of discipline is not an emergency for your emotions. What up, Kino, on Instagram? Okay. So we're gonna tie this in with my previous video of protecting your peace without becoming cold. Okay. You can be firm without hostility. You don't need to feel like you gotta put your hands on somebody to get your point across. You can set boundaries without anger. You don't have to say F somebody in order to finally, or get to that point of frustration in order to finally draw the line. Draw the line before you get to that point. And adjust access without drama. Like I said, I set a curfew for myself. I realize a lot of the drama happens certain time frames. I don't answer the phone within those time frames. Call me the next morning when you've calmed down and had a chance to think about what it is that you want to approach me with. You know, is this even my situation? Is this even something that I need to know? Does it belong to me? If it's mine, I'm gonna handle it. If not, handle it, baby. Maturity sounds like I see how you operate and I'll adjust accordingly, not me just reacting every time. Like, nobody has the power to ruin your day. Nobody has the power to ruin your day. They might have messed up this moment. I might be upset for an hour, but nobody has the power to ruin your day. So to recap and to close it out, people will fail you. Things, technology will fail you. Systems will disappoint you because this system, this whole setup, disappointing for this live. Mistakes will happen, but I refuse to let someone else's carelessness disrupt my internal order. I refuse, bro. So, everybody that's still here, that's still watching, I challenge you, identify one area in your life where you've been overreacting. Work, home, children, you know what I'm saying, intimate relationships, and commit to emotional discipline there this week, this month for me. But I challenge you to identify one area where you've been overreacting and commit to emotional discipline there this week. And if you're bold enough, comment what that area is, because you don't have to do everything alone. Self development is not lonely, it's not by yourself. Like I said before, everything and everyone are connected. We are meant to help each other. If there's something that I could do, please let me know. Camera's still going crazy. At the end, y'all, at the end, it acts right. Wild work. Wild work this morning. But hey, this is actuality. This is live. This is real. This is me showing you that you do not have to allow these types of things to affect you. Why? Because one, you have a higher purpose. The goal is the goal. Even when you come across these challenges, the goal is the goal. We still got to make this happen. I still had to finish this live, even if the cameras did not work. If y'all would have just heard my voice with a blank screen, I still would have finished. That's the mindset that I want you to carry into this month, into this week. Choose one area where you've been overreacting and commit to emotional discipline there this week. Much love to y'all, man. Let's go get this week started, man. And I'm excited for what's about to take place and the results that we about to get. I know in my personal life, I already chose like 3 or 4 areas I committed to emotional discipline. One is eating, and I'm not even hungry, and I'm happy about that. I'm happy about that. It's like a switch. So, and my other is the physical. So now I'm about to go do my workout for this morning. And I went live. Uh-huh. I'm gonna see a lot more of me real soon. Again, much love. Peace.